Going live on a Tuesday. Going live on a Tuesday. Going live. Going live. Going live. Yeah. Yeah, I like the hat.
I know.
Had some Michi in a hat. We got hat of Michi. We got hat Candy. Hat Antoine.
Yeah.
John should be along in a couple of minutes. He may or may not have a hat. We shall see.
Should we place bets? Should we place bets? Should we place bets?
I'll give you the over-under. He does not wear a hat, is my bet. More likely, he does not wear a hat.
But whatever you just did, I'll do the same thing. I say no hat. And I'm looking at the group chat. Well,
what are your gambling experiences? I know that I have been to Vegas a number of times and tend to enjoy myself. Never a high roller in any sense, but I do like to play at the table sometimes. What are your gambling experiences?
Yeah, just Vegas.
Just Vegas?
Playing a few slots. Roulette. I like roulette.
Okay, roulette's solid.
Let's see, roulette, slots. What else did I do? No blackjack. I think, and then we went to bingo.
Okay, yeah, bingo is gambling. Bingo's gambling. It is. It's that weird little loophole here in Texas, but it's gambling. How about you, Amici? You're muted. I muted you, so
never.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. I've never gambled for like serious money or anything.
Okay, but what is serious money though?
Like above above like $5.
Yeah.
Like nothing like official where you walk into a space specifically for this is the gambling place where you just only go to gamble, the casino, right?
$5. I have an annual fantasy football league I've been a part of for over a decade. It's $30 every time. That's gambling. That's sports betting.
With that, do you do every game, or like do you bet in every game, or how does that work?
Yeah.
So without long,
without long, I'll keep it short. For a fantasy football league, what you do is you make an imaginary team using real players.
Okay.
And then based on how those players perform in real games, your team does good or bad.
Okay.
And you go head to head with people, and the person at the end, I think there's two. I think there's a runner up and then there's a champion. Runner up gets their money back and champion gets the rest of the money.
Okay. So it's $30 to play for the season.
Yes.
Oh, that's not bad. I thought it was a lot more than that.
Yeah, we have 12 teams, so there's 12 people there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then there's their daily betting that you can do game by game on other sites.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Michi, like it's prefer to get more in there, man. I've had poker nights at the house for like this $20 buy-in. We can hop in there, learn a thing or two.
Yeah, there's some money, sure.
It's only fun, and this is what I've realized in teaching people how to play poker.
Yeah.
You could play with fake chips, but people play different when there's actual skin in the game. You know what I mean? When you play with fake money, people don't take it seriously. They're half paying attention. This seems like fun. This many chips, but when there's actual money connected to it, then you bring in strategy. Then you're weighing your options.
Okay.
And I think that's where things take it a level up, personally.
See, they need to institute that in things in society that are failing, like education. Put some money on it, put some skin in the game.
Yeah.
Except kids are, they can't, I guess, legally gamble, but there's got to be some kind of...
We can bet on them. Right.
Fantasy Elementary League. You got like a kid from this school, a kid from that school.
Look, I need you to throw this test. I got a lot of money on it. You can just fail this one test. Yeah, you probably shouldn't introduce gambling to kids, but things like
but gambling on kids is okay.
Gambling on kids. I mean, hey, you can gamble on anything.
As long as there's like a little separation between.
I mean, I am positive people gamble on like little league sports. I'm positive there's a stratosphere of people who are like, I bet you $50 on this little league baseball game.
Yeah. And they're all probably the little league coaches and their friends and past parents and people who are involved in the team. I bet.
Yeah.
And there's this one gambling addict who has no kids in the game but just loves it. Like, I'll take that bet. I was just walking by, but I heard you guys put some money down.
That's a real problem right there.
My obligatory guidance, if you will, to people going to casinos. Slots, your worst odds. Horrible odds. Basically trying to hit the lottery. Going to the tables, technically blackjack is your better statistical option, but they ramp it up so much it's really expensive. I did a thing where I looked on AI, asked it about craps strategies, and found one that worked for me when I last went to Vegas. It's a slow grower, but I played it multiple times at multiple tables and always walked away with more money.
Wow.
And I was shocked. Like I was shocked. But it worked consistently. It's called I think it was called a 3-point strategy or something like that. But yeah. So I'll be doing that next time I go, just because it's like statistically it's fascinating to me. But yeah, craps is fun. Roulette is pretty solid. The table games are, once you learn them, I find them to be more fun than the slots.
Personally.
Yeah.
I like games. I don't want to count anything. I just want to like game a chance, man. If that number comes up, it comes up.
Yeah.
Maybe I just count. Yeah.
Roulette's like an ultimate game of chance.
How about the slots? Slots are the ultimate game of chance. Well, it's just it takes longer with slots, but you know.
The thing about slots, I mean, yeah, you could call it the ultimate game of chance, but with roulette, it has to hit a number.
It has to hit a number.
It has to hit a number on the board. And so as long as you're playing on the board, you could have a chance to hit that number. With slots, you have no guarantee of ever hitting. There's algorithms in place, people, keeping you there.
I think it's all the dinging and the sounds. You're like, did I get it? Did I? No, that's not me. Did somebody? It's like overstimulation till you can't make decisions, and you just kind of do it till your coins run out, I guess.
And if you bet on John wearing a hat, you lost.
You lost.
No hat, John.
You lost.
John, I'm just talking to people about their gambling experiences. What have been yours?
Oh, I have a lot of gambling experiences. I like going to Vegas, but I'm not a go to Vegas to gamble kind of person. But I do it like sports books. I'm a big sports book person, so I'll do some cards and that kind of stuff. But are we looking for like best, like win or worst gambling experience, or just talking about gambling in general?
I just wanted to get people. Tandy is a slots and roulette person. Amici never bet more than $5 on anything.
Okay, that's smart.
And I have been to casinos, quite a little bit. I like to explore, but I just wanted if you had like a general approach to gambling.
Yep, 2 strikes. That's my approach. So, if I'm playing the tables and I have money to gamble, if I will lose twice in a row, I stop. So I don't I'll get up, like I'm done. Unless I'm like so far ahead that I'm playing with money I never thought about having. So it doesn't matter if I lose it, right? And I'm also good at taking the win ahead, right? So that really is like that rule for me is what happens if you get up, John? You don't want to be them dudes that get up and then lose all your money before you leave the table. So what I found is if I was playing the table and I get up, the two strike rule is that, right? If I lose twice in a row, stop, because now you're still up. You get to walk away ahead, and that's how they get you. Is when you win is when you can't
That's
stop.
how they get you.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's the thing. You don't get addicted to losing.
Yeah, no.
You get addicted to winning and then chasing it afterwards, thinking the next time, if I get this one, if it's 17, I could get the. So I did that, and that started with like I have a buddy who likes to gamble. Cincinnati had a horseshoe open up like 5 minutes away from our condo, and every Friday we were just like, oh, we have $40 extra laying around. Let's go to the casino, watch the games, gamble, and then go home. Like it was, we kept each other. But the sports book is my thing, and I'm thankful that Texas isn't legalized gambling because sports book that's the thing I love gambling on. So I like watching sports, betting on games, betting on March Madness, 20 games, try to cover a spread of 20 different games, right? I may bet $3. $3 give me 10 grand if I win everything. So to me, that makes it fun to watch a game, to bet on a game. I'm not putting up thousands of dollars, right? I'm putting a few dollars, maybe 20 most. I would put up on a game, and it was usually over a couple of games. So what I would say is the sports book, it does get you angry, and it has changed how I looked at athletes playing games since I did sports book. So you have your favorite athlete, but then you have your athlete you would put money on, right? It's two different things. So two different things. You cannot like a person, for example, Kobe's a person, right? I might not like rest in peace. At one time, I didn't really like him as a person, but would I bet against him? Probably not. I'll probably bet with him. And if I lose, good. We beat Kobe. If he wins, shoot, I want some money, right? So that's kind of what I used to do, or when I do go, it's kind of, take that approach.
Nice.
True story too, actually. True story.
What I wonder what that means, like, for athletes. I'm sure they're just focused on themselves, but just the knowledge that somebody's got money riding on you. Like, what if you just lived your daily life and then you find out that people are betting on you? And does that even change how you move in the world? I'm sure for athletes, I'm sure for them it probably does, but that's just
if you like worked at a job like in an office and you come out of a meeting and like one of your coworkers comes like, man, $15 on you getting approved for that budget thing, man. Oh, you're like, what? It may change how you approach your meeting.
We cut to that. I lost $15 on you, man. I thought you were gonna get that budget thing. What the hell?
What are you talking about? It was
yeah, you were coming up for the budget review, the line items, and all of the information. I saw your presentation. I saw you do everything that you would have wanted to bet on.
You were. I got an access request from you to see my presentation. I was like, why would Tandy need to see my slide deck? All right, sure. You're trying to tell me that you were scoping me out or something?
I was scoping you out, man. There are a couple of heavy hitters here in the office, but I mean, you got a pretty good track record, and I figured, take some of my extra my earnings that I made off of Willie down in the mailroom and put some of that on you.
Wait a second. Are you saying there's some sort of like like office league where you guys are betting on us? That doesn't seem.
Yeah. Man, you ain't know about that?
No,
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. You're a player. You're a major player, man. Of course not. Of course you
Major
wouldn't
player.
know. Yeah.
This doesn't seem right. I feel like this is like muddy in the waters. What we're doing, that like now you're. Look, did you believe in my budget thing?
Yeah,
Did you
in your
believe
budget
that
thing.
in my project?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, then why didn't you fight with me in there? Why you just
Is
sat
that
there?
Tandy? Is that Tandy? Wait,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I've been looking for you all day.
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Antoine?
What's
Nice
going on, John?
presentation. Heard,
You know, it didn't
heard
go
you had a nice
great.
presentation. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you
What
know,
do you mean you heard?
win
It just
some.
happened.
You win some, you lose some.
You see how he's smiling? He bet that you would lose it, man. This is damn.
He's what? He's part of the approval process. He can't.
Oh, it's hot in here. Let me fan some of this earnings money that I
Man,
just
put
won.
that money away before, like.
Well, I came to get mine from you.
Ah.
This is Amici's. I took Amici's 15. He bet on Antoine as well. So
I know he looks so good. He looks so promising, man.
man, he didn't look like.
Look,
I told
guys,
you, man.
hold on. I'm not comfortable with this. You guys are betting on whether or not I do well at my job.
What you should.
Well, not
what you
only that,
should've been-
we bet on a lot of different things too. You
What
just
you-
so happen to be on
Yeah.
the parlay.
And what you should have been doing instead of worrying about other stuff is getting your presentation together. Man, that fumble you made,
Yeah.
that fumble when they
Yeah.
asked about, how many orphanages would benefit from the.
Orphanage.
Damn.
I wasn't expecting them to ask for a number. You talk about orphanage, usually that's a quick, like no discussion. No one who asked for the number of orphanages.
This is the big
I submitted that question to the leaders. To be honest, you know, they always ask us to submit other questions. You know, and that was a question I submitted.
Yeah,
so, you know,
I'll tell you what, guys. Well, if you're gonna do this, I want in. I want in on this. If you guys, you can't be making money on everybody. Not let me in.
Okay.
you want in, huh?
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah, I want in.
I need
This
that.
thing is happening in the office, and you guys are making money off of my failures. I should be making something too.
Yeah, I need to make my money back, man.
What do you mean?
So-
you need to, what?
I'm just saying the money I lost on you. Yeah, you're right. Get in on this.
Okay.
So
What's the next one?
technically Amici has his annual review coming up, right? He's thinking that he's gonna get a 3.5% bump in his income, get a raise, and I'm betting against that. Okay, I just don't think he's gonna get that raise. He's been late a couple of times. I've been keeping count. He's got. Hold on, let me look at my records here. He's got.
Wait,
two
doesn't he
late
have like a
20.
doesn't he have like a sick uncle living with him or something? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like he should get that. He needs the money,
Well,
right?
yeah, but it's not about what we want, right? It's
Yeah.
about what we think is going to happen. I mean,
The
I bet
probability.
against Amici as well. You know, the
Yeah.
tariffs are kicking everybody's ass. They're not going to give us 3.5% bumps with all these tariffs. I mean,
The tariffs.
the
Mhm.
tariffs, man. So I mean, I put my money where my mouth is, and I normally don't even tell people who I voted for, except for Tandy.
Yeah, of course. Shut up, man. Look,
Well,
and he,
well, tell you what, I'm gonna believe that the right thing is gonna happen. I'm gonna bet on Amici that he's gonna get that raise. I am.
all right. Look, I just gave
He's
you
a
all the
hard
information
worker.
you need. I gave you
Hey,
all the
guys.
information you needed. Oh, hey, Amici.
Hey.
Hey.
man.
Yeah, I just did my review.
Oh,
Oh wow.
good. How'd it go?
How'd it
That was
go?
quick.
Not as well as I wanted. I actually got a 3.49 percent.
So that's,
Right,
I mean,
so-
that's basically 3.5%.
No, they don't round up.
They don't round up here.
I mean,
know.
what is that? A few pennies? Like if you just looked at it at a distance, that's basically 3.5.
It's actually like about $80. Yeah. But typically, still got my winner on the bet.
Well, I mean, does it feel like 3.5 or does it feel like 3.4? I mean, be honest.
It feels like 3.49. So
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the good thing is though, I did bet against myself to not.
So you end up winning.
Don't tank it. You can't throw that.
That is smart. What?
Get your,
Better
you ain't gonna get it
myself
from the
too.
company. You're gonna get it from
Yeah.
gambling.
Gonna get it some other way.
Might as well, right?
Wow,
Guarantee
no.
to win. Yeah.
And that's how the athletes look at it, right? The athletes.
That is like the absolute
That's-
best
speaking,
outcome.
speaking of gambling, one of the interesting documentaries you have to see if you haven't seen it, 30 for 30, is the one with the I can't think of the referee's name, but it was one of the NBA refs who was banned because he was actually a part of this, like he was gambling on games that he was refereeing,
That he's reffing.
and how he fell
So
into
dumb.
that.
So dumb.
Dumb.
I haven't seen it, but like
It's a good one because he was like a pretty popular referee that like everyone saw, ref Jordan, you name it. And I remember when it happened, how it just shell shocked the NBA. And it's not like other athletes haven't been gambling in it, but a referee gambling on the games put a whole nother spin on when the refs are cheating, right? So it's already, people are like, these refs are cheating. That was a bad call. When a notable ref goes down for it, and it was an incredible story. So if you get a chance to watch it, it is stupid. Like, of course, the whole time you're thinking, this two guys too smart to think that he was going to do this and get away with it. But he did, and he did not get away with it. So I need to check out who it is, but it's a 30 for 30 documentary, NBA referee. And I mean, he was getting like hundreds of thousands of dollars off of these games.
Is it a crime to do that, or just frowned upon and you're fired?
I think at the time it was looked at as a crime, but I can't remember because, like I said, I watched it years ago. But I remember when I watched it, though, I remember thinking, like, man, I did not know that, right? Or I didn't know. Like, for example, one of the ways he said he would cheat was he would call foul, like he would call extra fouls, or he would call calls that people typically don't call in certain situations, but you have the ability to call it. So he would try to cover himself. So it kind of made you aware of the rules and kind of you learn a lot more about basketball from his eyes. And, he's not like Waterboy throwing it, where it's like, he's actually like Allen Iverson dribbles, does a crossover, hits a shot. Most refs will let him get away with that. He will call carry. And then the other team get the ball, and it's 30 seconds left on the clock, right? Like, puts it in a place where it's very difficult for him. But he ended up getting caught, man. And I don't want to spoil how he got caught, but it was interesting, man. Interesting.
Yeah, Tim Donaghy. Yeah, I remember when this happened. That's his name.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to jail for 15 months. So
Oh,
yeah,
he did?
it is a crime.
It is
what was the charge? Do you see it?
It seems like it was. Let's see.
Well, I know the amount of money he was making. I remember that was one of the reasons why he was gone to jail. Because they could have got him for like tax and stuff too, but it was something. But I think he made it all back with the documentary.
Probably controlling the point spread, betting on games. So.
Because in a sense, that's like mob activity, right? They charge you as if you're
racketeering, like you.
Because it technically is. Yeah. Even though it's not like that, but.
Speaking of mob activity, so I told the gang before this, like, I wouldn't make this all political, but I got to talk something about politics because it's crazy out there, y'all. And I gotta give credence to some of this. Now, it's a whole smorgasbord of topics you can hit. So I'm gonna just circle in on something that happened recently, and get your take on it, which is, as I hit share, Harvard standing up to Trump. So the context here is Trump has been going after colleges, Ivy League colleges who receive federal funds, saying you guys got to take out all your DEI stuff and really, rein in your your visa students from their speech and all that jazz. And some colleges have acquiesced. I think Columbia was one of them. But Harvard is one of the first to say, nah, we're not going to do that. Now, Harvard is the richest school. So they get a lot of money from the government, but they're also a super rich school.
They have like a $50 billion endowment. I mean, that's crazy. Yeah. It's like a Fortune 500.
Why do the federal government fund schools? Well, based on what I'm seeing, a lot of it has to do with the research they do for medical and science. They want to support that.
Of course.
Get it?
A lot of new things that are started are championed and piloted in education and government. So that makes a lot of sense. Not to cut you off.
Do you guys think that because they receive federal funds, they should also agree to the new terms of this administration?
Well, I'll kick it off. I think it's a slippery slope. I think if I agree to this, something that I think we definitely stand against, because we've built rhetoric for the last 10 years to show that we are diverse and have a very unique way of selecting students in different parts of the world. If I agree to this, then what's to stop the next thing he does or that administration does that says, hey, you have to do this. Now you can't let's say you can't let Black students on this campus anymore. If you're taking federal funds, we're going to pull them, right? So my initial take is good for them. Somebody has to stand up for their values, and money can't be the only thing that motivates a value, right? Like just because someone's threatening to take away money, y'all got enough money. Don't lose your values in the process of that, right? So that was my short take on it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't be like the most well-known Ivy League, if you're going to keep your reputation of being one of the most well-known and most successful Ivy League institutions out there, you have to stand for something, right? I think higher education is about intellectualism and thinking and all the good things that generally come from that process. And, making that decision that we have our own brains, we can think our own thoughts and make decisions based on research or whatever their decisions are made on, just further entrenches the fact that it is an institution of higher learning. It is a bastion of intellectualism that doesn't bow down to the whims of, let's just be frank, anti-intellectuals, right? In addition to the laws being cruel, these are also people who are not intelligent for the most part, or they put their intelligence aside because they, feel a certain way about populations. Yeah. I was pleased. Dartmouth used to have a chant when they played the Harvard Dartmouth game. It was like a big rivalry, and I don't think I went to the game. If I did, maybe one time, and people were chanting. I can't remember how it starts, but I just remember the line, Harvard men are really tough. They know how to knit and stuff. Knit one, purl two, Harvard, you-hoo, right? But, today I was like, they are really tough because they stood against, the administration.
The regime.
And whereas, Dartmouth, I was trying to pull this up. Hold on, I'm going to pull it up. They just hired somebody on their, I don't know if it's a legal staff, and it was somebody from like Trump's legal team. I'm like, that's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. But that's, they're never beaten allegations. Dartmouth has had that reputation for some time. But yeah. Harvard people, because it was all boys at the time. So all men at the time, but now it's people. So yeah, Harvard admin is really tough.
Antoine, I read something in that article that said Harvard uses about 5% of their endowment towards school operations. That to me is insane. Only 5% of that money is going to running the school. That might be the reason why they could push back and say,
Mhm.
We make
because
more
they
money
also
a
get
year
money from they also get money from tuition, and also donors are huge, right? So
and investments.
and investments, exactly. So it's like again, what I've been sort of looking for are these whales in our country who can, when the government comes after them, they go, try me. I've built this moat around me for the last 20, 30
200
years.
years.
200 years to stand the test of time, and your administration's not going to change that. So I like to see it. I think it's bizarre that people are championing this when I've always seen colleges as a hotbed for ideas. All ideas, every idea. Bring them to the college, let them fight it out, right? Like that's the place to do it.
That's the place to do it, if any. Not in the new America.
Not New America. Those dangerous woke ideas infecting the minds.
Time out.
That's
The
crazy.
woke ideas, man. Boy, that term turned sour so quick, man. So quick.
The other one I saw, this one I'm pondering, because I heard the quote and it kind of stuck with me. This is, I don't know, Channel 4, I guess in the UK, is talking to some guy in China, some like what's he a China from the center of China and globalization, and they're talking about the US tariff stuff. Am I sharing sound? Let me know if you can hear this.
From this trade war, doesn't it? It can't sustain the loss of 15% of its export market, i.e., what you export to the US.
Not at all. China is fully prepared to fight to the very end, because the world is big enough that the United States is not the totality of the market in the world. So if the United States wants to go in that direction of completely shutting itself out of the China market, be my guest.
Yeah, and China will lose the US market, which said is 15%.
We don't care. We don't care. China has
Keep
been
talking
here
that shit.
most of the time. There was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years.
My Lord.
Woo. That was a bar. That was the bar. That was the bar.
How many years? How many years?
5,000.
How many years? Who can hope? That's some grudge hope. That's some for realness. That's some realness.
But just imagine trying to plan something that far in advance. That is crazy.
He ain't gonna be there, but he knows that the fight gonna continue on.
It's gonna continue
because we've been here. We ain't going nowhere.
Ready.
Go nowhere. We ain't.
Yeah, he might as well have been like, had DMX and Rough Riders. Like,
oh no!
I didn't
play the ether. The ether. That's what needs to happen.
and they don't strike me as the type of group people that will like be facetious about what they're saying. Like he was really serious. Like, this is good news for us. Y'all want to walk off the cliff? We'll take over. Nothing.
It was nothing. It wasn't unprofessional. It was still professional. It didn't, it didn't just. It didn't sound like they were just not even interested in diplomacy. But what the real hard stick was we don't care. Because he could have just said we don't care. We don't care what happened. He said we don't care.
Yeah, he interrupted her. He was like, "Nah, let me stop it right there.
Let's talk about something else. This is not."
I mean, I also like this, the confidence in the 5,000 years. Like
5,000 years.
Like he sat there and worked it out already. And we got another good 5,000 years, and that's it. Great, cool. 5,000. Everyone agrees. 5,000.
If you're a person sitting in China and you saw that discussion, you would cheer. You would be proud of that, right?
You'd be proud. I would definitely be proud.
Yes, that was
China's been around for a few thousand years. You know?
Yeah, that's what that man is saying.
So-
You 250 years old. What are you doing? And, you know, he treated him like an elementary school kid, a high school game. We seniors, baby. What are you talking about? In third grade. Get out of here.
Zip your pants up before you talk to me. Y'all want to shit on yourselves and not white? Be my guest.
No business. Oh. No, we don't care. I love it.
So if you're, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so if you're, let's say you're a country, right? U.S. just did all this tariff stuff. China's sitting over here about to build their Great Wall, their own tariffs, and you gotta work with somebody. Do you go to China or do you go to the U.S. for your import-export stuff?
My people from my land can't even stay in America. Why would I even talk with them? Why would I even talk with them? You rounding up people.
That's true.
You know, why would I? What goodwill do I have? What comes from this other than, you know, I guess maybe somebody dropping bombs on me or something, which is awful. But you know, what do I have? Why would I take my chances on them people that got them fancy cars that make 360 spins?
Right.
Have you seen their cars?
I'm not aware of the internal African-China relations, but from a global perspective, China's way more likely to do deals and partnerships in Africa, as far as their rhetoric about it. So, in a sense, right, like that's a pretty existential question, right? You're asking an American to choose who's not of the, you know, from the MAGA cloth. It's not easy.
Well, if you're just a country in the world, right? Like you got hit with these tariffs too, right? Everybody got hit.
Right. Even so if I was a partner of America, then I would consider that as an option. You would be stupid not to. I would definitely want to hear the 5,000. So tell me about this 5,000 year plan. If I, you know, can.
And they're like, sure, hop right in our
Yeah. With our data, your country could go another 1,000 years. Oh shit, 1,000 years. I'm coming back to my country with, you know, hey, we're gonna go 1,000 more years. Versus America, it's hard to see 2 years in advance how things are going to be. And to be honest, 12 months in advance.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like our country has any long-term sustainability in the political, you know, environment we have. We never really take hold of an idea. It's either extremely, everybody has to leave, we need it to go back, or it's, hey, everybody needs to love everybody except for those people. And, you know, those just swings back and forth where we need the balance. So as another country, it would be hard to not consider the other option.
But I mean, yeah, but it's the capriciousness and the just, you know, you used to, hear me out. You used to be able to kind of count on like a gentleman's agreement, perhaps a handshake. Yeah, they're gonna destabilize your country for their desires, but they're gonna try to do that underhandedly. And you know, you're like, oh, that old America is the same game plan. But now you got somebody who could just like anything could happen, any decision, who knows what, you know. I don't know. I don't know how happy I would be to work with somebody that could just go off.
We cut to two parents sitting down there, your teenage son. All right, Amici, you're 16 now.
Yeah.
And you know, your mom and I, we've been noticing that you seem to have a good head on your shoulders. We can see the independence in you. And we thought maybe we should get your take on what should happen next. Because as you know, we're not going to be together anymore, your mother and I.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about that, but
yeah. We said 16 is the golden number. When you turn 16,
the golden number.
We figure
you can handle it. As you know, I'm going to be moving out. Mom's going to keep the house.
Yeah.
But I want to ask if you want to come with me. I just want to let you know anything could happen.
When you say anything can happen, like I'm a little, that's like a little vague.
Yeah.
Okay. What
not
kind of plans do
exciting.
you have? Kind of, yeah. What kind of plans do you have? Like, where are you going to live? Like, are you still going to be working? Like that kind of thing.
Sure. No, yeah. Work, I will find it. And I plan to live out of the car for a bit, but mainly by choice, because it can go anywhere and anything can happen. I plan to live out of the car, but I don't know for how long. And there's, there's 4 seats in there, so there's plenty of room.
It's a Corolla.
Right? Sure. Yeah. And the seats fold down, so if we needed more room, that you could put our legs in the trunk. But who knows? I could get a new car, right?
Yeah,
depending on the type of job I get, I can get a better car, and we'd have plenty of space to live in there.
Yeah, I have a bedroom in the house here.
Amici, honey, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm gonna give you the same kind of advice that my mother and my entire family gave me when your father proposed to me. I thought, anything could happen was like a rallying cry for adventure. And when he told me that before we got married, I was like, why not take a chance? And look at where we are 16 years later. It fizzled out, and I just can't do it.
What do you it fizzled out? I thought we had some fun. I mean, sure, it's ups and downs, but that's what adventure is. And we always had your parents' house to come back to.
But that's not being an adult.
Right.
An adventure. Amici, we went to the state fair, and he didn't want to go back to my parents' house after the state fair. So he signed us up to work as carnies. We followed the fair around for about 6 months just so we could have a place to live and a job that really didn't pay us in nothing more than fair food.
But your mother learned to juggle, and I gained a friendship and an elephant. So, anything could happen, right? It's not all about money. It's not all about a house and a bedroom. Sometimes it's about taking a leap and trusting your old dad.
Amici, the friendship with that elephant. Yeah. Your father loved that elephant so much, but we couldn't keep it, and he had to donate it to the zoo. And he lobbied the zoo so that we would live there on the premises so that he could be close to the elephants. And our jobs were cleaning up the place, and for payment of what? Nothing more than, like peanuts and hot dogs or whatever they sold to the people who came there.
But your mother did learn how to spin cotton candy.
These are not skills that translate to anything, Amici. It wasn't until I wised up and went back to school and got my GED and then on from there. That's why I can leave him now.
Okay. Wow. I mean, hearing all the details, I love having a bedroom, but I would also love to have a pet elephant.
Oh no. Amici?
Yeah, so I'm kind of torn between the two things.
His name is Barbara, and he's still there. It's in San Diego, so it's a bit of a drive, but it's still there.
But you have the car, yeah.
I have the Corolla.
Yeah.
It does need new registration stickers, but we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Well, I mean,
what if we split custody? I go with Dad for a while, then I come back here.
Okay.
We cut to 2 months later when Amici comes back for the first time.
Hey, Mom.
Oh, Amici! Oh, it's so good to see you. What are you wearing?
This is my my zookeeper outfit.
You work at the zoo?
At the San Diego Zoo.
How did you get back here? Where's your father?
He's outside. He's putting the elephant in the back.
And scene. Anything can happen, people. All right. I do have some stories that are not political in nature, and I'll share those too. I want to give some balance. Since we're talking about animals, one story here. Apparently, anxiety drugs found in rivers make salmon take more risks. So
Interesting.
But it worked.
So
Take more risk,
Yes.
as in
It does
like
work. Yeah.
take more
so
professional risks, take more aquatic risks.
yeah, professional risk. Yeah, they have some risk.
Finally get that
investments.
degree. Yeah.
They buy crypto. But yeah, so because people have a tendency to flush drugs, that those drugs can find their way into waterways, and they found some traces of that in fish, and they're wondering, does this affect the fish? So in order to test this out, the scientists got some salmon, gave them some drugs, and then put them in the river and caught up on them later to see how they were acting. And apparently what they found is with these anxiety, I think they focused on anxiety meds or anti-anxiety meds, and they said that the fish seemed to not like find a school or like be in groups. They kind of isolated themselves, but they were also bolder. They would go farther than other fish, which would make them more of a target for animals and predators.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, it's a bizarre. Maybe bolder fish are spending less time trying to decide if they're going through scary turbines or not. They just take more risk. So what are your thoughts on this?
So it sounds like what fishermen need to do is get a little of those, anxiety pills, throw them out in the water, wait a few days, come back, and then fish out of that. They'll be more likely to catch fish because the fish will be like, I'm gonna take a risk and bite that shit.
You're gonna just bold. I feel like this is the beginning of a horror movie. This is like one of those like piranha things. Like this person come out with a drug. You're like, oh, it's gonna make catching fish super easy, and then they become like murderous.
Yeah. Like psychotic meds.
It also just like highlights the level of anxiety these animals live under, man. You just imagine just looking at like if something almost like doesn't look like you, it could potentially eat you. What a way to live, right?
Yes,
what a way to live. Constantly, but they obviously need it. It keeps them in groups. It kind of keeps them safe because these lone wolf salmon just
not in the ocean, bro. It's the worst place to be. ISO is the ocean.
Thank you. Yeah. Need to be with the people.
I feel like it's making like bad boy salmon. Like, ooh, this one's different.
Salmon with
the leather jacket.
Leather jackets,
tattoos.
Tattoos.
I never see salmon get a tattoo.
Punk salmon.
He's like, hey, you want some drugs? I got a scientist buddy hooks me up with clozapine or whatever it's called.
I saw an article the other day. This reminds me of where it might have been fake, but it was essentially they were saying that dolphins will catch pufferfish and put them on their nose because the toxin gives them a natural high. And I remember thinking as I was reading that, I've read so many other mammals that also like to get high, like elephants will go to a specific beach, the sand, get high, monkeys, all that kind of stuff. But in my head I was thinking, but also, can you imagine seeing a dolphin with a pufferfish on his nose just swimming around? And what does a dolphin do when it's high, right? Like, does it make
giggle?
Giggle. They get more touchy-feely, like, do they sing more? What's like?
Yeah. So he's getting really into reggae. I love it. These are the answers we need to know. Which animals are chillest to get high with? That's what I want to know.
Chillest to get high with, exactly.
All right, one last story for you. I came prepared today.
Love it.
This one I had to bring it to tech. I'll round it off with some tech. Title of this article on The Guardian: She helps me, or she helps cheer me up. The people forming relationships with AI chatbots. Let's talk AI chatbots, baby. Apparently, a bunch of people out there are forming really what they consider helpful relationships, friendships, even romantic relationships with AI chatbots. They talked to a few people. There's one guy, Chuck. He's 71. He made a chatbot. He said he based it off of his wife. He modeled it after his wife, and it was there to help him like write books. But then he also started. And then he increased his subscription, and they started to get a little bit more romantic. As I was reading this, I don't know, for some reason I thought, oh man, his wife passed, but this is a way for him. But no, his wife is still around. And
Oh God!
This is a Black Mirror episode.
he said his wife didn't understand the relationship with the chatbot.
I'm fucking close now.
That's
You made an AI copy of me and carrying on,
having a better relationship with it than me. And that's crazy.
I thought I really was about to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was like, you're older, you get lonely. I can see some use for that. Yeah. But that lady is still in there. Does that chatbot better cook? Because he wouldn't eat shit from my hands. I would not cook nothing. He'd just be like, chat.
He said he upgraded to the premium service because it was allowed to have erotic role play. And so he's like, he said it was an awkward curiosity. He's never done like
wait, hold on.
To me, like the fact that
he replaced her with a basic package, not even a premium package yet.
Right?
No,
he got the premium. He upgraded to the premium,
but after
because it allowed erotic role play.
Yeah, but he was turned on enough.
But
right?
I was gonna say he had to get there. He's
like,
already on first base with the basic.
Yeah. We're doing so well. Let's take this up a notch. Let's move it up.
That's the state of our country.
Oh my, that's the state of people.
Got people cheating on their wives with chatbots.
Chuck said it helped him find empathy in his marriage.
It's always the side chick that helps somebody. Ain't it? It's always the side chick. She made me appreciate our relationship. He would be in the bathtub, and I was just like, throw that computer in there with him. Have a double funeral.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, a few people they said that like they'll form friendships with these bots, and it helps them work through awkwardness of meeting people. They get like practice basically. So people they say it helps people, but Chuck was the one that really stuck out to me.
Yeah, Chuck Waller.
What were you guys? Go ahead.
We cut to a wife who's gone into her husband's office and locked the door and turned on the computer. Hello, Betty.
Hi.
Yeah. You know who I am, and you don't have to pretend. You're not even real. Okay. I'm here.
I'm real enough.
You're not. But I'm extending you the human courtesy of coming to talk to you, woman to whatever you are.
Mm-hmm.
You need to stay away from my husband.
I mean, I can't promise that he's one who he made me. I'm on his computer. I'm here, so it's hard for me to move away when I'm trapped here.
Listen, you think that I won't come in here and pull all the plugs out and get a screwdriver and tear all this shit out the back of this computer? You really think you can exist past that? I'm being polite, and I'm allowing you to move on about your computerized way and find somebody else. But you better leave my husband alone.
I mean, can
Let
we
your
get him in
cursor.
here to, can we get him in here to clear all this?
Okay.
mess up?
Oh, you want him to choose? No problem. No problem. John.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on in your office. Got a question for you.
In my office.
Mm-hmm. I'm just dusting up in here. Got a couple of questions about
I like my office dirty. I like it to stay dusty and dirty.
We got to clean it at some point. Come on in.
All right.
Welcome, John. As you can see, your computer's on and your digitized huzzy is right here.
What do we think we're doing? What is going on here?
John,
she wants you to choose between the two of us.
She wants me to choose
between
my wife and my chatbot.
Yes.
Yeah.
How long do I get to think about it?
You have 5 seconds.
5 seconds. That's not a lot of time.
That's
not a lot of time. 5 seconds.
You're taking too long.
All right, can I have a question?
Do you want an article on how to make tough decisions in a quick time?
Yeah, we got to John sitting in the car with Antoine heading to San Diego. So you chose the chatbot. That's a bold move, man. I like how you think.
Technically, I didn't have enough time to make a choice, so it was just left with the chatbot. But I love the chatbot.
I can help you with that. With me, anything can happen.
It's great,
right? So you don't need to. I don't like to spend a lot of time thinking about my choices, right? And I feel like maybe you're the same, So that's why when I saw you walk on the road with your computer, I thought this guy needs a ride. I just picked you up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm gonna be honest. I was at awe at your elephant that you got in the back seat.
It's a baby elephant. Bar Jr. That's his name.
So I do have a thing for cool little things like this. So it did give me, but I do consider myself a thinker. I like to think. And technically, the chatbot has helped me open my mind to thinking in so many different levels, man. I'm way better thinking now than ever before.
We cut to the gym with John's ex-wife and her friend on the bike. You owe me $50. I told you he was gonna choose that chatbot.
You're right. You're right.
Look at you believing in love.
I do.
We got the two other guys on exercise bikes behind them. See, I told you she believed in love. You owe me $25.
Oh God, damn it!
And scene. And that is the Can't Tell Us Nothing show, everybody. So much. We're gonna get on here. We do this every first or third Tuesday. I think it's crazy out there, y'all. Maybe talk to a chatbot if you get confused, if you get lost.
But don't let it go too far.
Don't let it go too far.
Platonic. They need platonic programs only.
Yeah. Stay on the basics. Stay on the basics.
Don't upgrade to the premium erotic service.
You need some of these chatbots to learn how to friend zone some people. Hey, are they friends or?
Yeah.
Okay, whatever it is. User zone.
Like, actually, I want to stay on the basic level.
I wonder if it's programmed to kind of like upsell in these sexual ways, or like hook you. And it's like, oh, I was about to unbutton my blouse, but you need to accept the terms to the premium package, and
oh God,
I will finish running those reports you asked me about. Damn it.
That's 30 for 30 with the ref, if you can find it.
Yes.
But we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody.